However, with the live special edition, The Brian Murray Show, this one is going to focus on the market today, the market tomorrow. A lot of people asking about the market, what's going to happen, what's happening. So first we're going to start with the experts. I invest, on the magnitude of $10,000 to $20,000 a year in coaching and training to hear from experts on what's happening in the broader markets, and then they in turn have invested, a magnitude of 10 times that to see what's going on and bring that information back down to me. I'm going to put all of these slides up on the Murray Property Group, on where all the shows are being. You can find all the episodes at themurraypropertygroup.com in the blog section. I will also add all of the slides. So here they are. Just the first slide that we're talking about is Bill McBride from Calculated Risk. He's basically saying that the economic slowdown, the length of the recession will depend on the course of the pandemic. Now that's not really anything surprising, other than that they're talking about recession. Everybody's now going to be worried about what's happening. Is a recession? Oh my gosh, the housing market's going to collapse. That's not true. In 3 of the past 5 recessions, home prices have actually gone up, not down. 3 of the last 5 recessions since 1980, the prices have gone up. So recession does not equal housing crisis. Talking to Dr. Lawrence Yoon, chief economist for the National Association of Realtors. Basically, they do a lot of research. The housing market the economy will bounce back. There is no imminent housing crash. There is no housing crash. Spring selling season has been pushed back. That's no surprise. And real estate is still a strong investment. I just want to take a step back and say, there has been no time in the history of this country where homes were not bought and sold. Let me repeat. There's been no time in the history of this country where homes have not been bought and sold. Not Civil War, not World War I, not World War II, not Spanish flu, not 9/11. No time have homes not been bought and sold. So, is there a housing market? Absolutely there is. Dr. Lawrence Yoon is basically saying now is if you can buy now, buy. If you can't, wait. But if you can, you're gonna, this is the time. A few other market facts. I lost the timer. A few other market facts. Goldman Sachs, their GDP forecast, you're looking at minus 24% in Q2, but then it bounces back in Q3 to 12% and 10% additionally in Q4. So that Goldman Sachs is looking for a market bounce back. Chief economist at the National Association of Home Builders says that as the economy rebounds, housing is ready to lead the way. And really, housing is the pillar of the economy that's the most stable. So, it's traditionally been that, and, you kind of look for the government to do anything they can to make sure that the housing market continues on the way that it does. One really positive piece of information here is I have a graph that shows the payment as percentage of income. The historic norm on your payment as a percentage of income is 21.2%. Over the last 2 years, that's been sliding, and currently in January, it was 14.8%. So your current payment as a percentage of income is very low, and also, compared to the housing crash in 2008, 2005, 2006, 7. I call it 8 because that's really where we were affected in this market. During that time, the 3 years prior, 2005 to 2007, people pulled out $824 billion in equity from their homes. They pulled out $824 billion in equity. In the last 3 years, people have pulled out $232 billion in equity. So it's not the same kind of a thing. Not at all. So these are the experts that are giving this. The last expert here from Glucks and Sheff and Associates, their chief economist, is basically saying that this is more like a 9/11 type of an occurrence. That, hey, right at the exact time that's happening, there's a lot of anxiety. There's certain segments of the market like travel and leisure that's really tightening up. But as it passes, as the fear passes, life goes on and life gets back to some set of normalcy. So those are the experts in the market that are saying that. Now, I know there's a lot of talking and that kind of thing, so I'm going to give you, as part of our discussion, and this is kind of the discussion piece and the hot topic piece, I'm going to give you a visual to go along with the discussion. I'm going to put these here. I hope you guys can see these here, right? I'm going to use these to represent the market. I'm sorry, this is yesterday's market, represented by this Polar Lime soda. Polar is my favorite seltzer, and they're bottled in the hometown where I grew up. Even though they didn't offer me an internship in college, I'm still going to use Polar soda, but I don't like the lime. I like the other flavors. Anyway, so this is yesterday's market, and where is the market today? This represents that. So in yesterday's market, if you wanted to describe this, in terms of like what was going on in the market, this would kind of be like, how it was. It was a little bubbly, hey, the winter market was great, that kind of thing. So that was pretty standard yesterday's market kind of stuff. This is today's market. This is represented in today's market. And, right now, yep, that's it. Looking. Yeah, there's barely, you got to shake it a lot to get a little bit out of there. Today's market, it's like really, that's what it is. A home being bought and sold, mainly vacant, but it's a little bit of a challenge.
Good flavor, though.
Good flavor. It tastes just like Joseph's baby aspirin. This is the transition market. The transition market's going to be very interesting because for a period of 1 to 3 months or so, we're going to see that people aren't really sure if they're going out, how they're going to handle homes. So you can kind of see that with the transition market, that's about what you're going to see. You're going to see a little bit of this, a little bit of bubbles, a little bit of noise coming out, but not really, it's the transition. And then once we kind of get through this, this is tomorrow's market. You're going to have a whole lot of pent-up demand. I mean, people are waiting, and they're waiting, and they're waiting, and they have to move to the suburbs, and they want to, or they have to move homes because they have a little baby at home, and the baby's driving them crazy in their 1 bedroom, or their 2 bedroom with 4 or 5 or 6 kids. So this is kind of like tomorrow's market's going to be. So everybody can kind of prepare for that. You can see that maybe it's shaken up. It's a little burnt up. So this is really representative of maybe what we're looking at tomorrow. I don't know. I mean, this is my prediction, is that like with the interest rates where they are, that adds a little bit of pressure. People who want to move, people who have to move. So this is it. So, if I had to represent tomorrow's market, this would be the way it is right here. That's tomorrow's market. And that's the best representation I can get of all 3 of these is with this. So, hopefully you've learned a little bit about the market. I typically do the good, the bad, and the ugly segment. Today I'm going to do the good, the better, and the best. The good is everybody who's staying home right now, keeping everyone safe. Appreciate it to everybody. I know it's hard. It's hard on us. I'm sure it's hard on you. The better are, hey, those companies that are giving back, the companies that are donating. Even when it's hard, the people who are donating, a lot of people losing their jobs, a lot of income from small businesses is not there, but they're still giving back in any way they can to make the community better, to say thank you to people and those who really need it right now. And then the best, good big shout out to the first responders and the healthcare workers who are putting themselves on the line every day, not just them, but their families. These guys are working long hours, but they're bringing potentially the COVID back home to them. It's a big risk to them. It's a big risk to their family, and they're doing it to help other people. So that's really the best, and big shout out to them. I'll leave you with a little bit of inspiration from FDR that we have nothing to fear but fear itself. We're going to get through this. We're going to come out the back end even better. This has been the Brian Murray Show. Really appreciate you watching. Again, all episodes are at themurraypropertygroup.com. Please like me on Facebook, Instagram, follow me on social media. I do appreciate it. Share it with some people. I do welcome your feedback, comments. And if there's anything that you disagree with, please reach out to me personally, and I'll show you why you're wrong.